This is the bridge, a game mode that is pretty fun but also pretty frustrating. Since the game is all about bypassing if you can, noobs like me always get bypassed by pros like this. But I wanted to learn the game, so I set out for a 3-day training arc in the bridge. This is how it went. But before we start, I'm going to quickly go over what the bridge is. The bridge is a fast-paced game mode where the way to win is by going in your opponent's pit, and the first player to do that 5 times wins. It sounds simple, but you need to make many fast decisions, and one mistake could lead to disaster.
So day one, I looked at some YouTube tips and tricks videos to learn the essential techniques in the bridge, such as pristining, which is where you block the sides of your base to prevent the opponent from wall running into your pit. Talking about wall running, I also looked up how to bypass correctly, which was still really hard. I then hopped into my first game, which was pretty messy because I didn't look up the most detailed tutorials. Not to say I didn't make a ton of mistakes overall, but despite that, it went well in my first handful of games because I was getting lucky with who I got to play against. Then I ran into the first good player and he won 5-0, so I looked at the replay to see what I did wrong, and to be honest, he just outplayed me in everything, but especially movement, so I traded movement courses on bedwarspractice.club for the rest of the day with my friend. On day 2 I started with another bridge session, and I had to say it was worrying that I was playing as if I was washed as fuck and hadn't spent hours on the bridge yesterday. So I hopped on bedwarspractice.club to wake my ass up and actually warm up for real with some wall running courses. Then I went back on Hypixel after a while, and all the good players were just gone, and I was left fighting bots, which was kind of a time waste because I had only 1.5 days left to master the game. But a server called Screams Network or something was the answer. I had some pretty close games there, but there was this one guy with a Technoblade skin who destroyed me because he was good at digging tunnels and I suck at guarding. But that was an issue to solve on day 3 because the day was coming to an end. And on day 3 I figured greatness comes with experience just. So I low-key just played a bunch of Hypixel games, and by the end of it I have to say I was really proud of my last 2 games. Uh, yeah. Yes, sir. But yeah, they were fun and games, and they were against bridge sweats, and I also, with the experience, I just copied my opponent's moves, and I learned how to make a smart wing like this, which the way it works is by like, yeah. So now I'm gonna explain why a smart wing is better than an advanced wing. Um, a smart wing is like where you build it lower down and then you like staircase up from there. So let's say you're fighting your opponent on the top ridge and you win. You can leap down there. Also, this map has that grass thing, but most maps don't have that. But then you can just do that and not fucking jump into the end portal on a map world because you will end up in the end. Um, So after rebuilding that shit, I'm now gonna explain why a smart wing is better than a normal wing. Because, so you see a normal wing is the thing on the right, and the smart thing is the thing on the left. And so let's say I kill my opponent on top ridge. But oh no, I fall and I have to clutch. I can still use the smart wing because it was just from a staircase under the ground, so I can still bypass like that. Anyways, that's why the underground wing is just better than the normal wing in most cases. The last thing I did on day 3 was record an entire game, like a test game, and this is how it went. I kinda threw the test game, not gonna lie. But then, uh, after throwing that game, I had this game against this sweat. So, if you've played the bridge before, you'll know that guy was obviously a sweat because he threw up a wing in like 2 seconds, a smart wing, and He also spawn blocked me 2 million times because I'd say the map was very good for spawn blockers, but I didn't know that. But overall, I'd say this operation was a big success, and thanks for watching.